So, you want to work in brand, but you have no idea where to start. It's easy, I'll show you. For those of you who don't know me, hi, I'm Rabia. I've worked in marketing in luxury and I used to be a brand manager at Procter & Gamble. I know how overwhelming it can be when you're just starting out and trying to build a career from scratch. In this video, I'll share a quick overview on how I became a brand manager without any previous brand experience, and then I'll share the exact steps that you can take to become one too. I will answer all the questions that I had when I was just starting out, like what kind of courses and certifications do you need? Do you need to have a specific college degree, or do you even need a college degree? How can you pivot into brand from a different career? And how can you prepare for the interviews? So grab a drink and let's begin. First, a little background on me. I did my undergrad in business administration. I chose this major because I was interested in a lot of different sides of business, but I wasn't really sure what I wanted to specialize in. So this major allowed me to take a variety of different courses, from banking and financial markets and economics to brand building and marketing. I enjoyed marketing and brand building courses the most, so I decided to do an extra year and get an honors degree, and I wrote a dissertation related to brand management, hoping that this would then get me a job. However, upon graduating, I was completely lost. The most entry-level brand management job that I could find online was assistant brand manager, and even that required at least 2 to 3 years of experience. During this time, I got 2 certifications that were happening in my city and were reasonably affordable, but I still did not get any brand management job that I applied to. During this time, I also applied to Procter & Gamble at least 2 times that I can remember, but I got rejected both times. Like, by rejection, I mean like I did not even hear back for an interview. I think there were 3 reasons for this. I didn't have any previous experience, like not even an internship. The undergrad university that I went to was not a well-known target school, and honestly, my resume was not very good. I still had a lot to learn on how to present myself. So my first 2 jobs were in the luxury goods industry, one of which was for one of the largest luxury goods companies in the world, in the marketing department. In these 2 jobs, I got to work with more than 30 brands and learn all the ins and outs of marketing, PR, social media, digital marketing, and budget management. After getting this solid work experience of around 3 years, I then got a master's in strategic marketing, which had a lot of brand-related courses, and then these combined experiences helped me build credibility, and that's how I got my brand manager job at Procter & Gamble. Having been a brand manager myself, I know that very few people get into brand management straight from undergrad. Those that do usually have a bachelor's or an MBA from a top target school in their city or their country. So if you either don't have a degree or you are in a different career, then you're much better off building that experience in building skills that would be relevant and transferable to brand management. So building that credibility and then making a pivot. No matter what your situation is, here are the exact steps that you can take today to become a brand manager. The very first thing that you should do is figure out what exactly companies in your area or the area that you are interested in working in is looking for in a brand manager. So go to job listing websites like LinkedIn and search by role for brand manager and see what their requirements are. This helps you get an idea of what's happening in the industry and also get an idea of what the companies that you are interested in are looking for. Don't worry if the qualifications that they are asking for don't match your profile perfectly just yet. Trust me, no one starts out by having every single thing on the checklist. Use this exercise to understand the responsibilities and the skills that are required to become a brand manager. I also have a day in the life video of being a brand manager at Procter & Gamble. I'll link it here. You can go watch that after, and it'll help you understand what a brand manager actually does on an average day. Next, do self-analysis on where you stand today. So look at your education, like do you have any degrees or qualifications related to the field of business? Then look at your experience, like do you have any related internships or do you have any relevant job experience? And finally, take a look at your skills and then compare all of this to the job listings. Try to figure out where is that gap. Is it the years of experience, or is it that they require certain skills that you don't have yet? Are there things in the job description that you didn't understand? You can mark those because you can probably build some more knowledge in those those areas. Just doing that exercise is getting you closer to understand what you need to do in order to become a brand manager. Next, build the essential skills so they can become a part of your overall profile. The top 3 skills, in my opinion, are building a commercial sense, so knowing how profit and loss works and knowing how brand strategy works. Then it's business analysis and management. And finally, some basic creative branding skills like some basic graphic design and copywriting. There is no special software that you really need to know except getting very, very good at PowerPoint, Excel, and Word. I have a video on this where I talked about this in a lot more detail that you can check out if you're interested. You can also check out other resources like books written by people who have built brands, or even podcasts or interviews, again, of people who have built businesses. This is usually just a great way to build some general knowledge around brand building and business. One of the most common questions I get is if there is a specific university degree to get, or if there is a course or a certification that someone can take to fast track their way to become a brand manager. When I got my brand management certification, it helped me get my first job in marketing, but it still took me 3 to 4 years to get into brand. The thing is, brand management does not have one core skill that you can get certified in and then get a job. Like if you wanted to be a UX designer, you could probably get a UX design certification from Google and then you could probably pursue that career. But brand management does not have that equivalent. Instead, brand managers usually wear a lot of hats and usually need to understand a lot of different things like marketing, growth strategies, supply chain, and various related things. So what you should do is evaluate your current profile and then get a certification in something that you have absolutely no experience in, or like a skill that you would like to build so that it can contribute towards your overall profile. So for example, if you've done some internship or work experience in marketing, then you can get a certification in sales or supply chain just so that it adds to that gap in your resume and then makes you look more like a well-rounded candidate. Similarly, if you're already in sales, then you can consider doing a certification in brand building, again, just to cover that gap in your resume. There's this short course that I saw online. I haven't personally taken it, but I was looking at the description and it looked like it would be pretty helpful for someone who is just a beginner and trying to learn the basics of brand. Also, it was less than $20, so I think it could be pretty helpful. Again, I don't think short courses are absolutely necessary. You could even just go through the description list and then just learn all of the things that it covers yourself by Google or watching YouTube videos. But if you prefer structured learning and thinking, then this could be a good option for you. For the actual degree, most big companies tend to favor candidates that have at least a bachelor's or in some cases a master's or an MBA. Personally, don't think that you really need a college degree to learn these skills, but I think the reality is that this is just a way for these big Fortune 500 companies to filter the candidates because sometimes the roles are so competitive and there are literally thousands of candidates applying for a single role. At an undergrad level, I've seen candidates that come from all sorts of backgrounds like journalism, communication, marketing, business administration, engineering. So it really is more about your overall profile and the specific skills that you can bring to the job. If you don't have a degree or don't plan on getting one, then I think a different route that you can take is just getting some hands-on job experience, like for example working in marketing or helping somebody else build their brand and then building your credibility that way and then applying to corporate brand management. Now, when it comes to internships and job experience, I think it's really important to remember that assistant brand manager and brand manager are not completely entry-level roles. There are of course exceptions of a few candidates that end up interning for a company over the summer and then they get a full-time brand offer. In a lot of cases, including myself, you can first get a little bit of entry-level experience in another job and then make a pivot. Other roles leading to brand management are many, from sales to communication to supply chain to marketing. All my colleagues came from various different backgrounds, but the one thing that they had in common was a deep understanding of how to build a brand. So don't worry too much if you're not able to get a brand management job. You can instead get a related job experience. If you studied communication or journalism or finance in your undergrad, for example, then you can get a job in marketing. Your finance undergrad already taught you budget management and financial skills. So now you would get a complementary job experience like marketing. So again, you can become a more well-rounded candidate for brand management. I truly believe that one of the best ways to get experience is to work on a project. It can be challenging to break into an industry for the first time, so create your own opportunity by actually managing a brand. You can do this by either starting your own small business. So for example, you could learn a skill and sell that as your own business. Or you can reach out to your friends or your network and offer to help them with either a brand or their social media or somewhere in branding or sales, anything that can give you that hands-on experience. Next, you need to build a strong CV. This was the main difference between when I used to apply for brand management roles before and I wouldn't even hear back or get rejected, and then when I got my master's and started applying again with an updated resume. Maybe the fact that I added a target school and a master's degree to my resume played a part, but I definitely know that there are candidates who get in without a master's degree. So I definitely think that updating my resume by adding a lot of keywords and just restructuring it and making it better definitely played a huge role in me finally getting that brand manager position. The biggest upgrade was that I took those same experiences that I had before and I just reworded them into my resume to make them more relevant for brand management, and I think that's the thing that helped it pass a lot of the systems and finally get me the interviews. If you're interested, I have a CV kit linked below that has my own Procter & Gamble brand management resume that you can check out, or I have a whole video on the topic where I take you step by step on how to create an amazing CV. Everything that we've talked about so far has led to this one thing, which is creating a strong narrative about yourself as a candidate. In my interview for brand management, I went in prepped with a strong story and narrative on why I would be an amazing addition to the team despite not having previous FMCG experience and coming from marketing in luxury. My narrative was that I had already learned storytelling and how to build powerful aspirational brands from one of the companies that did this best in the world. I had also assisted with the marketing budgets in the millions of dollars, so again, I had a solid foundation in budget management. While I loved everything that I did in that role, what I was really craving was making a bigger impact. I love that unlike the niche luxury industry, more than half the world uses Procter & Gamble's products. I think it's very exciting to build brands that are found in almost every household. With my strong financial skills, paired with my experience in creative marketing, I would be an ideal candidate. So with everything that we've talked about so far, make sure that your CV and the skills that you have and the degree and certifications and everything that you do, make sure that it all works together to create a strong narrative about you, and it should clearly show that you're a person that takes initiative and you're a person that really belongs in brand management because you've done the work to build all the different skills that are required for the job. I really hope this video was useful. Please let me know if you still have any questions in the comments. So if you found this video or any of the other videos useful, then please subscribe to the channel. I hope you have a great rest of your day and see you in the next video.